Hey everyone, it's Chris, and welcome once again to Cross Chop. Now, it's been a busy fall, but I found some other things outside of video games to keep myself busy, including hockey. Doing a little yard work. And I found some weird bugs, too.
It's eating.
Oh, drop.
Now, anyway, of course, I've also managed to find some time to find even more games and accessories along the way. I think I found about 43 games and over 10 systems, I think, including some accessories and other fun things. So, without further ado, let's go take a look. So, to start us off today, we've got a handful of NES games, starting with Dr. Mario, a classic. Russian Attack, a Konami game I've never played, but looks like it'll be pretty promising. Another fun little puzzle game for the NES, Yoshi, which, if I'm not mistaken, may have been his debut. Don't quote me on that. And then another one that I recently played through on the 3DS in 3D was Kirby's Adventure. Found these all together at a pawn shop for very cheap, and did not pass these up. All the labels were in great shape. It looked like someone had probably dropped them off together as a lot. I didn't manage to make quite as spectacular of a Super Nintendo find this fall as I did at the end of the summer, but nevertheless there's a couple in this next set of 3 that I'm pretty happy to have. And this first one, which it's okay to have around, Home Alone 2 Lost in New York. I've dabbled with this a little bit, and it's a challenging, kind of confusing platformer. Not quite sure what to make of it, fighting vacuum cleaners and things like that, but it's kind of neat to see Macaulay Culkin's sprite slide around on the floor and things like that. Another one that does seem a little fun is School Jagger, or School Jagger, I'm not sure exactly. But this one seems kind of neat. Revolt of the Westicans. Played through the first couple levels. Also challenging, but a little more excited about this than the Home Alone game. And lastly, the J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings Volume 1. I've been looking for this for a little while. I'd seen some pop up on eBay from time to time, complete and things like that, but I wasn't too keen on paying the price for those, so luckily I found this pretty recently for about $6 at a game shop, so I was okay with that. Moving into some handheld stuff that I'm really excited about, particularly due to its condition, was a copy of Tetris DX on the Game Boy Color. Now this box is pretty much minty, and the cartridge and everything inside it is great as well. It's still just Tetris, but this seems to be the pinnacle of it in the original Game Boy era, so pretty happy with that. Another favorite handheld game of mine, probably one of my favorite handhelds of all time, honestly, is Metroid Fusion on the Game Boy Advance. I've been playing through this quite a bit. I think I originally played through it on a borrowed cartridge from a friend back after it came out, but I've always wanted one of my own copies and finally found one that was in really good shape at a local game shop here, so had to pick that up. My girlfriend picked up Mario Kart 7 on the 3DS, and then lastly another game that I really want to get its Super Nintendo counterpart eventually, but for now this will do, and it's pretty nice to have it in a portable format as well, is Chrono Trigger on the original DS. So haven't started this up yet. I've been trying to finish up some other games that I've been playing, just playing way too many games at the same time, but this will be one that I'm really thrilled to try out. I've been told that the music is amazing and that it's a kind of a rite of passage in the JRPG genre, so really looking forward to trying this out too. Next up is a find that I'm just absolutely thrilled about. One of my best friends, Will, and a former roommate of mine, just completely took me by surprise, and he actually donated his entire N64 game collection to me, and I was just completely floored. And just an amazing dude, great guy, just very generous, and Will, I love you. Anyway, in the games, as far as the games go that he donated to my collection, let's go ahead and take a look at those, I guess, now. We've got the Mortal Kombat Mythologies Sub-Zero cartridge. Gex 64, Enter the Gecko. I remember renting this one back in the day. Twisted Edge Extreme Snowboarding. Diddy Kong Racing, another really fun, pretty non-traditional sort of racing, kind of adventure-y type game. Another classic from Rareware on the N64. Toy Story 2, Buzz Lightyear to the Rescue. Resident Evil 2, the almighty, one that admittedly I haven't played. I've started it up a couple times, but have never delved completely into it. Kirby 64, The Crystal Shards, another really wonderful game. I remember a friend and I staying up all night, probably in 4th or 5th grade, beating this. Jet Force Gemini, another N64 classic that, once again, came from Rare and that I have not yet played. Banjo-Tooie, another Rare game. And lastly, Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2. So, again, huge thanks to Will. This is just incredible. Man, I gotta pay you back sometime. Thank you. Two other N64 games that I picked up this fall. They did not come from my friend Will. Got a launch copy of Pilot Wing 64 that's in just absolutely pristine condition. It's nearly flawless besides a little bend there on the back, but cart's in great shape, plays really well, so pretty excited about this. And then another game that I've never tried, I've popped this in and wasn't too impressed admittedly, but Mission Impossible, Expect the Impossible. This seems kind of like a strange third-person shooter. The graphics aren't great, but yeah, I might pop this in for some laughs again at some point. Taking a very brief segue away from Nintendo to take a look at another 16-bit era game from Sega. Got Shadowrun on the Genesis here. Now, funny story about this one. I'd never actually heard of this game, but I came across it at a game shop that I really like here in St. Louis. And they had it priced basically as you would for the loose copy of the cartridge, but this one is complete. It's got the manual in there as well as a very clean cartridge. So from what I've read about it, it's a pretty cool RPG. But before diving back into the other games, I wanted to take a look at a few more World of Nintendo toys that I picked up. I know I looked at a few of those, I think in the last video or the one before. I recently got the Donkey Kong figure here, the smaller one. The smaller Wario as well. And then the bigger Yoshi. So big fan of Yoshi, always have been. Couldn't really resist grabbing him while supplies lasted. This next section is going to look at all the Gamecube stuff that I picked up. I had another really awesome find in a lot here around town. And before we take a look at that, real quick, wanted to mention that Katie also picked up Crash Nitro Kart on the Gamecube. We haven't played this just yet. This is a very, very, very recent pickup. But we're big fans of Crash Team Racing on the PS1. So we thought we'd give this a shot and see how it goes. Also got the Game Boy player, which I've wanted for quite a while, the attachment that goes on the bottom of the GameCube, and as well as the required disc here. Came with the manual and a handy little case with a memory card slot, but it's got the disc you can use, so this opens up that library of handheld stuff you can just pop in and play on the TV even more. Now with respect to that GameCube lot I just mentioned, I'd wanted a black GameCube as well and found a nice boxed one. It's in great shape. It has all the original paperwork and cords and everything, as well as another Wavebird. Now this one's a little different than the one I picked up earlier this summer. That was kind of the plain gray one. This is kind of the platinum one, so pretty cool. It had the receiver as well, so I've been actually using this quite a bit when I've been playing GameCube games here lately. The included games from that lot were pretty diverse, mostly focused kind of toward kids, so some of these not, super keen on. They weren't ones that I was actively looking for. And I actually wound up kind of selling off and giving away some of the other ones that I really didn't need or that were doubles. So here are the ones that I kept. I kept Mario Golf Toadstool Tour, Disney's Tarzan Untamed, Cars, Madagascar by DreamWorks, Medal of Honor Frontline, GoldenEye Rogue Agent, Call of Duty 2, Big Red One, Spider-Man. I remember playing this quite a bit. I rented it from, I think, a family video or something, and played a lot of it. I was pretty impressed, although I think Spider-Man 2 was better. Mario Party 4, and what I think is probably the best find of that lot was Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. I haven't played this one. I really liked Super Paper Mario on the Wii, as well as the Paper Mario on N64. That was also a classic. The last two Nintendo items for this video are on the Wii, and they're both from the Metroid franchise. We've got Metroid Other M, which I'm really curious about. I haven't played it yet myself, so I don't have any opinions on it, but the reviews that I've read and all the other opinions that I have seen on it are pretty polarized, so we'll see how it goes. The other one I have played, I really liked. I didn't find it quite as memorable as the first one on the Gamecube, but Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. I used to have a copy of this, and I believe I probably traded it into GameStop a few years ago, so glad to have it back, and we'll be checking it out again soon. The last few things that I'm going to include in here are on PS1, Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver, and Silent Hill, the original. I've actually not played any of the Silent Hill games, so I'm really excited to have a nice Black Label complete copy of this to try out. And then the last three here are on the PS3. We've got Assassin's Creed Revelations, also including the first Assassin's Creed on here. I'd had that, I've played it, I've beaten it. I liked it pretty well, but for me, Assassin's Creed 2 has been my favorite so far. Another one here, and this one's really cool. It's the Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Fate of Two Worlds Steelbook Collector's Edition copy, Special Edition, excuse me. It's got a neat comic book in here, as well as the Steelbook with all the characters around the sides and everything like that. And then lastly, one that I literally just found yesterday, but I'm really stoked about. It's the 5th anniversary edition of The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, one of my favorite PC games of all time. I know a lot of people really like Morrowind, a lot of people really like Skyrim. I like Skyrim. I actually haven't played Morrowind yet. But yeah, this is really cool. Neat Steelbook edition thing. It was $10 at GameStop. Includes all the DLC, as well as this bonus disc, which I guess has like a making of documentary in there. Really, really cool, and it's nice to have a console edition too.
It was very difficult, but like it wasn't a survival horror. Like, yes, it was a horror game, and yes, there were survival elements to it, but it was too much of actually an action game that involved horror elements to it, but it was too hard to understand right away. It was all of the horror elements to it just seemed